check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Yes, I have jumped into this thing on both feet. I tell you, it's that might as well thing will get you every time. And that's what this radio's done. I mean, I want this radio. I'm so proud to get this radio. I want this radio to last a long, long time. And to do that, we need to do things right. And part of that is to continue to take it apart and clean parts and test parts and replace parts, even if they're not convenient to get to. And it's kind of where we're at now. I'll kind of turn this thing around here in a second and show you. I've been working on this a lot on off camera too, so yeah, a lot has been done. Just hope I can get it all back together once I can get it all apart. I think I can. Let's see here. I think that is it. Yeah, I'll get that one out. Come on. Doesn't look like it's anything special there. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, see, I couldn't get to this side. But anyway, let me show you where we're at now. Wow. You know, kind of like fixing an ink spot on a shirt. You start out just trying to get the spot off, and then you scrub on it, and the spot gets bigger, and then it gets duller, but it's bigger, and then it gets even bigger. So then you think, well, I have to try something else, and then you try something else, and that makes it even lighter but bigger. And pretty soon you're both feet in, and I think that's kind of where I am now. As you can see, we have disassembled this thing rather heavily. I did do a bunch of resoldering back over here. I believe I found the problem with Shortwave 2 and 7, and then of course I continued to. There's caps in here I wanted to check and replace, and I wanted to get really good access to clean all the boards off really well. That corrosion of those D batteries sitting in there. I'm really lucky it didn't get to the circuit board. It didn't, and it's probably just maybe the coating they have on the circuit board. Everybody, it seems to really protected it. It had some on it, but it was all just flaked off. But you can tell. I mean, even where I just took that apart, how dirty those are, and they don't really have corrosion, but they just have like this. See, like even there, they have this white stuff from those batteries sitting in there and disintegrating. But anyway, so main reason I pull this board out here is I want to clean all those potentiometers there for your controls, and they weren't crackling or giving me any issue. But I mean, obviously after I pull them out, I think they need a good cleaning, and obviously there's some caps on here I want to check as well. We're just trudging away at it. I think when we're done, we're going to have one fine radio. That's my intention. I sure hope so. This will be a radio I'll keep for probably ever. It would be hard to pry out of my hands. Of course, you know, everything's for sale. But anyway, also I was surfing YouTube, seeing if there's any of the other radios, and there's a few out there, a couple good ones showing operation on them and stuff, but not quite. I don't think as depth as I've gotten on this one so far. There was Mr. Carson's Lab. I don't know if any of you guys watch that, but if you're into electronic repair and electronic radios, it's a really good channel. But anyway, he I guess about a year ago, I guess he acquired one of these, and he was kind of going through it. He actually hasn't, I guess, done the recap or taken it apart yet. At least I couldn't find a video on that. But his is actually the 4900. It has the blue display, and he said his was fluorescent, and mine's actually LED, and they're individual segments. So if one of those went out, technically you could you could repair it. It'd be kind of a pain in the bear, but you know, it's just actually 5 little LED cubes. So yeah, it would be repairable, but they're all working fine. But anyway, I'm getting off subject here. Main thing I wanted to bring up is he brought up a really good idea that I'm going to do. Of course, obviously, first, these are incandescent. In fact, that one's already pulled, but these are incandescent type bulbs. They all still function, but they're lackluster, and they're kind of a yellowish color, and they're not real bright. And I really want this radio to stand out. So obviously, I'm going to retrofit it all with LEDs for all the incandescent ones. But he also brought up a good point. You know, on this particular radio, whenever you switch from shortwave to AM, FM, one dial turns off dark and the other one lights up. Well, I'd just soon have it lit up all the time, and then when I switch to the active one, have it either add a color or change colors. And so actually those parts should be in tomorrow, and I will start doing that modification. But basically, I'm going to mod this thing to where I'm going to put all white LEDs in it and get it lit up like it's going to stand out. Like I want bright white, and not over. I can dim them down if I need to, but you know, we'll see how they look. But I did order ultra bright white LEDs, and that's my intention to light all the dials in the meter. And the meter does have a light, by the way. His didn't light it, but mine does. But anyway, I keep getting off track. Point being is he had a great idea, and I'm gonna work off of that, and I'm gonna put all white light in here. And since I have the red, I have the 4800. I think red backlight would be appropriate for the active side. I think depending on if I can figure out how to mount them, I think I would like to do a dual LED so that I leave the white and just add a red tint to it instead of completely turning it off from white to red. I think it'll be a little less complicated that way. I could do it either way, but wiring-wise, it seems like it make more sense if I just have a constant white. And then as far as switching colors, I won't. It actually wouldn't really be hard either way, but I just think it'd be cooler. And we'll look at it. I'll put duals in and see if just adding a red to the white gives it a nice, you know, tint, or do I need to go ahead and turn the white off and just have a red for backlit for the active one. But either way, I think that's a super cool idea, so I'm going to go with that. And they're definitely going to be lit up all the time. And then whenever you switch from one dial band to the other dial band, it will have it will change colors to let you know that's the active one. Anyway, this is just kind of an update video. I guess it's, I don't know, part 3, or this is probably going to go for a while. Part 4 will be me doing the LEDs. I'm going to spend some time this evening cleaning this guy all up, checking everything out, making sure she's good to go, and probably go ahead and get it reassembled in there. I just took it out mainly just to get it good and clean. Look at that switch, man. It definitely needs some tender loving care there. It's got one IC in it. It's about the only IC I think I've seen. Well, there's probably one in the counter too, but not a whole lot of ICs. This is probably the right before everything went digital. And I personally, I like analog better. So this is, you know, it's solid state, but it's analog. It's not a PLL type. It uses crystals and analog receiving. Anyway, guys, have a great day out there. I hope you enjoy this series. Please submit and give me a like. Have a great day. I got to use my light here. This little Stanley light I've got. It's on a cool little tripod. It's real handy when I'm working on stuff like this because I can really get some bright light in there. But I just used this the other day, and I went to use it today, and it didn't come on, and I'm like, what the heck? So then I take the back off to check the batteries, and they are just, I guess one of them decided to give up the ghost, and it just made an absolute mess on the inside. That's my flashlight here I'm cleaning out now. But anyway, just a little FYI, if you even with you're not storing, I mean, this is something I use. I know the batteries are really old, but it's, you know, I only use it for 5 or 10 minutes at a time, so the batteries have held up really well. But who would have thought one would just do that on me and make a mess? I mean, look at this stuff here. I mean, this is not something that's been sitting idle for years. But anyway, I just thought this was appropriate on the subject of make sure and keep your batteries fresh, because boy, they sure will make a mess inside of electronics if they decide to start leaking.